All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about rotations on the coordinate plane. So a rotation is a transformation involving the turning or spinning of a point or a figure around a fixed point. This fixed point is called the center of rotation. So we're going to be doing rotations around the origin. So the origin is this center of rotation that we're going to be talking about. So we're going to practice doing 90, 180, and 270 degree rotations. So a standard rotation is counterclockwise. In other words, it's going to the left just like the coordinate plane does. This is quadrant 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So a standard rotation goes in that direction. Now, if the directions tell you to go clockwise for your rotation, then that would be going to the right around this way. Okay? So let's go ahead and try to rotate a point on the coordinate plane. Now, here is point A, and point A is located at -1, +4. All right? And I have a little shortcut or a little trick that I like to use for these rotations. Now, first what I do is I make my column here for 90, 180, and 270. And for a 90-degree rotation, we're going to reverse these terms. For a 180, we're going to leave these terms the same. And then for 270, we're going to reverse these terms again. So, for your 90, in other words, if this is my x and this is my y, I'm going to reverse those terms. So now this would be 4, -1. For the 180, the order of the terms stays the same, so -1, 4. For a 270-degree rotation, I'm going to reverse them again. So this would be 4, -1. Now there's one more step to changing these new coordinates. So with a 90-degree, first we reverse them. And then what we're going to do with our x value, we're going to change the sign. So since this was positive, we're now going to make this negative. For the 180-degree rotation, we're going to change the sign of both our new x and y. So this was -1. This now becomes +1. This was a +4. We're now going to make that -4. For a 270-degree rotation, we're going to change the value of the y coordinate. So since this was -1, this would be changed to +1. So our new ordered pair here is -4, -1, and that would be a 90-degree rotation. For a 180-degree rotation, we now have 1, -4. And for our 270, we would have 4, +1. So let's go ahead and graph those on the coordinate plane. So let's go ahead and do our 90-degree rotation. So our new ordered pair is -4, -1. So -4, -1. So A1, that's your 90-degree rotation. All right, our 180, our new ordered pair was 1, -4. So that would be here. So I'm going to call that double prime, or A2. And that's your 180-degree rotation. And for our 270, the new ordered pair was 4 and 1. All right. And this was your 270-degree rotation. So as you see, we rotated around the origin. Okay? So just to review my little shortcut that I like to use, for 90 reverse, 180 is the same, 270 is reverse. So reverse, same, reverse. Then I like to think of this as going down the stairs. So as I go down the stairs, I'm going to change the sign of those terms. So for a 90, I'm going to change my x. For a 180, I have to change the sign for x and y. And for a 270, I'm going to change the sign for only my y value and get my new ordered pairs here. All right, now that we've done a point, let's try to rotate a line. All right, so point A for this line is at 1, -3, and B is at 5, -3. So let's go ahead and let's do a 180, a 90, a 180, and a 270-degree rotation. So let's make my little lines here. So I know I like to write this down. So reverse, same, reverse. All right. So for my A, I'm going to reverse my X and my Y. So this would be -3, 1. I'm going to keep the terms in the same order for a 180. And then I'm going to reverse them again for the 270. Now, if we go back, remember we still have to go down the stairs and change those signs. So we're going to change the X for a 190. So this now becomes +3. For the 180-degree rotation, we're going to change both of these. So this would be negative. This becomes positive. And then for the 270, we only change our y, so this now becomes -1. So here are our new ordered pairs, 3, 1, -1, 3, and -1, -3, -1 for these rotations. Let's go ahead and do our B while we're at it. So for B, we're going to reverse our terms. So -3, 5. This term stay the same for my 180, so this would be 5, -3. And my 270, I'm going to reverse the terms. And then I'm going to go down the stairs and change these signs here. And so -3 now becomes +3. This becomes -5. This becomes +3. And then my +5 now becomes negative. So these are my new ordered pairs for a 90, a 180, and a 270. So let's go ahead. So I would have 3, +1, and that would be my A prime, and then B here is 3, 5. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be B prime there. So this line was rotated 90 degrees. All right. So here was our original. There's your 90-degree rotation. Now our 180-degree, let me write that there. So our new ordered pair for a 180, I would have -1, +3. So -1, +3, and we'll call that A2. And then -5, +3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So there's your B2. And this is your 180-degree rotation. And then our 270, our ordered pairs there are -3, -1, and -3, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our A3, B3, and a nice straight line here. Let me highlight that so we can see that a little better. And this would be your 270-degree rotation. So as you can see, you're kind of that line is going all the way around the origin. Let's go ahead now and try to rotate this triangle. So we have 3 points, so we're going to go ahead and let's do our 90-degree, our 180, and our 270. And I'm just going to use R for reverse, S for same, and R for reverse. So for point A here, now I'm going to reverse our terms. So I'm going to have a 1 and a -5. Now I'm going to keep them the same here. And then I'm going to reverse them for my 270. Put my degree, all right? And I have to go back and change my X and my Y, and then my Y. So this becomes negative. This becomes +5, -1, and this becomes +5. All right, so now my B, I'm going to reverse these terms. So I have a 1, -1. And I'm going to keep this terms the same for my 180. and then reverse them again for my 270. And I'm going to change my x, so that would be negative. I'm going to be changing both of them, so this now becomes positive and that becomes negative, and my negative here now becomes positive. So we had to change these terms here for b. C, I'm going to reverse these for my 90. I'm going to keep them the same for 180, and then I'm going to reverse them for the 270. And we're going to change these values here going down the stairs. So this would be a negative, positive 1, negative 3, and negative 1 now becomes positive. So let's go. Now we're going to do the directions here, just want a 90-degree rotation. Well, I've done the ordered pairs for a 90, a 180, and a 270, but the only points I really need for my 90 are these points up here, okay? So for a 90 degree, we're going to have A is at negative 1, negative 5. So negative 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 5. So there's your A prime. And B is at negative 1, negative 1. Whoops, sorry, negative 1, negative 1. There's B. All right. And C is at negative 3, negative 1. So 1, 2, 3, and then negative 1. So here's my C prime. And when we connect these, we now see how that rotated. And A was facing out this way. Now it's down here and facing that way. So that's your 90-degree rotation for that triangle. And I want to thank you for checking in, and have a great afternoon.